Tonight, we're going to walk slowly and calmly through one of the most beloved books in the Harry Potter series, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. This isn't just a quick recap. It's a full, guided journey through the story, what happens, why it matters, and how all the pieces fit together. If you haven't read the book in years, this will gently refresh everything for you. If you've never read it at all, this will work as a clear, detailed walkthrough so you can understand the entire plot and its deeper themes. We start not with magic and adventure, but with something very small and familiar. Harry Potter, stuck once again at number 4, Privet Drive. It's summer. Harry is back at the Dursleys, the only place he truly hates calling home. Their house is neat, controlled, and aggressively normal. There are no moving photographs here, no owls swooping in, no chattering portraits. Just the steady, suburban hum of a family that would rather pretend Harry doesn't exist. But Harry has learned a trick. At night, after the Dursleys have gone to bed, he pulls out his wand, his school books, and his parchment. Under the covers, or by a tiny light, he does his homework in secret, essays for Professor McGonagall, notes for other classes, quietly keeping his connection to the wizarding world alive. There's something very sad and very powerful about this image. A boy who has saved the school twice already, reduced to hiding his identity from the people he lives with, clinging to homework as proof that the magical world is real and still waiting for him. Then, on his birthday, the world reaches out to him. Owls arrive with letters and gifts from Ron, Hermione, and Hagrid. This is more than just mail. It's a reminder that Harry has another life, other people who care about him. Ron writes with news that his family has won a Daily Prophet prize, and gone to visit his older brother in Egypt. The Weasleys, who are usually poor, suddenly have money for a big family trip. That detail will matter later, but right now it just paints a picture. Ron is out in the wider world having an adventure, while Harry is stuck here. Hermione sends a thoughtful, practical gift, a book about broomstick care. That's her in a nutshell: intelligent, caring, and always thinking several steps ahead. Hagrid sends a homemade rock cake that is probably more dangerous to teeth than to hunger. But the love behind it is undeniable. Even before term starts, the book quietly sets up a contrast. The Dursleys' coldness versus the warmth of Harry's friends. The small, petty world of Privet Drive versus the open, unpredictable world of magic waiting just beyond. And then Aunt Marge arrives. Uncle Vernon has a deal for Harry. If Harry behaves, acts normal, and doesn't mention magic while his sister Marge visits, Vernon will sign the ** Hogsmeade permission for **. For Harry, this is huge. Hogsmeade is the only all-wizarding village in Britain, and all the third years get to visit, but only with a guardian's permission. So Harry agrees. Aunt Marge is a bigger, louder version of the Dursleys, rude, prejudiced, and openly cruel to Harry. She spends meal after meal insulting him, praising Dudley, and repeating Vernon's favorite idea, that Harry's parents were useless, and that bad blood is to blame for Harry's existence. Harry tries to stay calm. He counts to 10. He grips his glass so hard his knuckles turn white. He reminds himself of the Hogsmeade form waiting at the end of Marge's visit, like a prize. But words have power. On the final night, Marge pushes too far. She calls Harry's parents drunks, worthless, and hints they deserve to die. Something in Harry snaps. His magic, tied tightly to his emotions, surges out of him. He doesn't cast a spell with his wand. The fury inside him simply erupts. Aunt Marge begins to inflate like a balloon, her fingers swelling, her body rising off the chair, floating uncontrollably into the air. For a moment, it's almost funny, but underneath, there's a serious shift. Harry has crossed a line. He has done magic in front of Muggles, in a very big, very obvious way. He realizes there is no going back. Not to the dinner table, not to Uncle Vernon, not to quietly pretending he's normal. He runs. He packs his trunk, grabs his wand, and storms out of the house into the night, dragging his luggage behind him. In that moment, he is Harry the student, or Harry the chosen one. He's just a teenager who has had enough. He knows he may be expelled. He knows the ministry may punish him. But he also knows, on a dark street, alone, hurt, and furious, Harry has no idea that the events of this night will lead him to the truth about his past, his parents' deaths, and the man the wizarding world has been blaming for 12 years. In the darkness, Harry pauses, trying to catch his breath. He sets his trunk down, pulls out his wand for protection, and then, suddenly, thinks he sees something. A shape, huge, black, and dog-like, lurking in the shadows across the street. Fear spikes through him. Is it a threat, a creature? His imagination. He stumbles backward, trips, and falls onto the pavement. His wand flies out of his hand and lands nearby. As he reaches for it, he accidentally raises his arm, and that small movement becomes the trigger for something very unexpected. The night bus explodes into existence. It's a triple-decker purple bus, loud, bright, and absolutely impossible to miss. It screeches to a halt in front of Harry, and the conductor steps down, announcing it as emergency transport for stranded witches and wizards. The danger of the big black dog is pushed aside by this new, chaotic magic. On the night bus, Harry gives a fake name to hide his identity. He listens as the conductor and the Daily Prophet explain what's happening in the wider wizarding world. A man named Sirius Black has escaped from Azkaban, the wizarding prison. This is treated as something unprecedented, terrifying. No one escapes from Azkaban. The guards, Dementors, are supposed to be perfect, inescapable. We don't yet know what Sirius Black did. We're only told that he's a *** mass murderer ***, extremely dangerous, and that his escape has thrown the entire magical world into chaos. Harry hears this news in bits and pieces, still more concerned with what the ministry will do to him for using magic and for running away. But the name, Sirius Black, lodges itself in the story, a dark thread running quietly alongside Harry's own fears. When the night bus drops him at the leaky cauldron, Harry braces for punishment. Instead, he finds something stranger. Waiting for him is Cornelius Fudge, the Minister for Magic, acting surprisingly kind and relaxed. Harry expects his wand to be snapped, an official hearing, or at least a lecture. Instead, Fudge brushes it all aside. He calls the incident with Aunt Marge an accident, tells Harry not to worry, and sets him up with a room at the Leaky Cauldron until school begins. No punishment, no expulsion, no questioning. It feels nice on the surface, but it's odd. Harry senses that the adults are more worried about Asterisk, something else, than about an underage wizard inflating his aunt. That something else, of course, is Sirius Black. For a few weeks, Harry experiences something he's never really had before: independence. He lives alone at the Leaky Cauldron, allowed to wander Diagon Alley during the day. He eats when he likes, works on homework at small cafe tables, visits shops, and watches magical families pass by. It's a simple kind of happiness. No Dursleys, no constant danger, just the feeling of belonging, at least temporarily, in the magical world. Eventually, Ron and Hermione arrive. Ron returns from Egypt, full of stories, with his rat Scabbers ***, looking worse for wear. Hermione arrives with a new pet, Crookshanks ***, a squashed-faced cat with surprisingly sharp instincts. Immediately, Crookshanks seems very interested in Scabbers. Ron is annoyed. Hermione insists the cat is just being a cat. But beneath the comedy, something bigger is moving. Crookshanks is sensing there's more to Scabbers than meets the eye. In the background, the shadow of Sirius Black grows darker. Harry accidentally overhears Mr. and Mrs. Weasley arguing. They're not just worried about an escaped convict. They're worried about Harry ***. They believe Sirius Black is coming after Harry. They think he's determined to finish the job Voldemort started. Later, Mr. Weasley speaks to Harry directly. He tells him Harry is confused. He had absolutely no intention of doing anything so reckless. But that warning plants a seed. If there's one thing stories love, it's a character being told not asterisk, to do something. By the time the new school year begins, we have a boy who has fled his abusive home, an escaped prisoner everyone fears, a ministry that is nervous and unusually lenient with Harry, and rumors that this dangerous man is somehow connected to Harry's past. The train to Hogwarts is waiting, and so is someone sleeping in one of the compartments who will change Harry's life. On the Hogwarts Express, Harry, Ron, and Hermione find a compartment already occupied. Inside, a shabby-looking man sleeps in the corner, his luggage marked with a single name, R.J. Lupin ***. They assume he's the new defense against the dark arts teacher. And for now, he just snores quietly in the background while they talk about school, Hogsmeade, and Sirius Black. Then the train suddenly slows to a stop, ***. The lamps flicker. The warmth drains from the air. Frost forms on the window panes. Breath becomes visible, even inside the sealed compartment. And something boards the train. The door to the compartment slides open. A tall, hooded figure in tattered robes glides in. Its face is hidden, but its presence is enough. Harry feels like all the hope is draining out of him. He hears screaming, a woman's screams, echoing inside his head. The sound overwhelms him. Then everything goes black. When Harry wakes, he finds that he fainted ***. Ron is pale. Hermione is shaken. The teacher in the corner, Lupin, is now awake. Lupin had driven the creature away with a spell and given everyone chocolate to help them recover. The creature was an Dementor, one of the guards of Azkaban. Dementors don't just oversee prisons. In this book, they become physical manifestations of emotional states: depression, trauma, soul-deep fear. Harry is embarrassed that he fainted when no one else did. But Lupin gently explains that Dementors affect him more because of what he's been through. Harry has real trauma, the murder of his parents, and Dementors force you to relive your worst memories. When the train finally reaches Hogwarts and the students gather in the Great Hall, Dumbledore confirms what we've already seen. Dementors will be stationed around the school to guard it. They are searching for Sirius Black, but he adds a warning. Dementors do not distinguish nearly enough between guilty and innocent. The supposed protectors of the school are also a danger to Harry. The tone of this year is set. The castle is still the same, with candles and feasts and moving staircases. But now, somewhere out there in the dark, ringed around the grounds, are beings that can force you to relive your worst moments. The wizarding world is no longer just whimsical and fun. It has teeth. Classes begin, and with them, the book widens its world. Harry's first divination lesson with Professor Trelawney takes place in a tower room filled with incense, dim light, and dramatic flair. Trelawney is eccentric, theatrical, and very fond of making ominous predictions. She asks the students to read tea leaves. When she looks into Harry's cup, she goes pale and tells him she sees the grim asterisk, a spectral, dog-like figure believed to be a death omen. The grim image lands on top of Harry's recent experience of seeing a large black dog and hearing about Sirius Black. Fear, superstition, and reality begin to blur. Meanwhile, they start care of magical creatures, with Hagrid. For his first lesson, Hagrid chooses to introduce the class to Hippogriff's proud, part horse, part eagle creatures that demand respect. He shows them how to bow, how to approach, and he picks Harry to demonstrate. Harry meets Buckbeak. He bows, waits, is accepted, and even gets to ride Buckbeak over the lake. It's a moment of pure exhilaration and trust. Then Draco Malfoy steps in. He insults Buckbeak, ignores the rules, and is attacked. He's injured badly enough to cause a scandal. Suddenly, Hagrid is accused of being irresponsible. Buckbeak's fate is in the hands of the Ministry. This subplot shows us something important about the wizarding world. Magical creatures are judged harshly. The Ministry prefers safe appearances over nuance, and characters like Hagrid, who love and understand so-called dangerous creatures, are constantly fighting uphill. While all this happens, Harry, Ron, and Hermione slowly realize how complicated this year will be. It's not just schoolwork anymore. It's ominous predictions of death, hostile creatures patrolling the school's borders, and a legal system that might condemn a creature like Buckbeak without really understanding him. And then Lupin shows the third years how to deal with fear. Lupin's first major class stands in sharp contrast to everything dark and heavy about the Dementors. He takes the third years to a staff room where a *** wardrobe ** holds a boggart, a shape-shifting creature that becomes whatever you fear most. Lupin explains the spell *** ridiculous. The trick is to force the boggart to become something funny, something you can laugh at instead of fear. One by one, students step forward. Neville sees Snape and imagines him in his grandmother's clothes. Another student sees a giant spider and gives it roller skates. Each fear is transformed, puncturing the terror with laughter. Harry is sure he'll get a turn. He's ready to see what form his fear takes. But when he steps forward, Lupin * stops him. The class ends with the boggart turning into a moon and Lupin finishing it off. Afterwards, Harry feels a mixture of curiosity and hurt. Did Lupin think he was too weak to handle it? Later, Lupin explains. He was afraid that if Harry faced the boggart, it would turn into Lord Voldemort ***, frightening the entire class. But Lupin also quietly admits something else. He suspects Harry's real fear, under that, is actually a Dementor ***. Lupin's teaching style is gentle, practical, and deeply empathetic. He doesn't dismiss fear. He gives students tools to deal with it. And he sees Harry clearly, not as the boy who lived, but as a boy who has experienced more pain than most. In every scene with Lupin, the book is quietly asking, what does a good teacher look like? And the answer seems to be someone who protects you without smothering you, who respects your intelligence, and who helps you confront your fears in a controlled, caring way. But outside those lessons, the school isn't getting safer. Section 8, Sirius at the gate, and a school under guard. Word gradually spreads that the Dementors are taking their job very seriously. They patrol the edges of the grounds. They linger near the entrances. They press their unseen faces against invisible boundaries, drawn to Harry like moths to a flame. Harry learns that he can't visit Hogsmeade because his permission form was never signed. While everyone else enjoys the village, he's stuck behind. On the first Hogsmeade weekend, Harry stays in the castle. Lupin invites him for tea. In that quiet conversation, Lupin explains more. Why he didn't let Harry fight the boggart, how Dementors work, and how Harry's past makes him more vulnerable to them. Snape appears at the door the way only Snape can, sudden and unsettling. He brings Lupin a *** potion, ***. Lupin drinks it without argument. We don't yet know what this potion is, but it's unusual. Snape clearly dislikes Lupin, yet Lupin trusts him enough to drink something he brewed. This moment plants a seed. Lupin is hiding something. Snape knows what it is, and Dumbledore has arranged something uncomfortable but necessary. Later, after a Quidditch practice, the year's tension spikes. The Gryffindors return to find the *** fat lady's portrait /**. The fat lady herself is missing. Terrified students cluster in the corridor. Peeves the poltergeist eventually reveals what happened. The fat lady refused to let a man into the common room without the password. The man tried to force his way in. The man was *Sirius, black ***. He has not only escaped from Azkaban, he has broken into the castle and attempted to enter the Gryffindor dormitory. Suddenly, Sirius isn't an abstract threat anymore. He's right there, scratching at the door that leads to Harry's bed. The atmosphere tightens. Students sleep in the Great Hall. Teachers guard doorways. The castle feels less like a school and more like a fortress under siege. Section 9. Quidditch, Dementors, and the loss of the Nimbus. Security gets stricter. When Gryffindor plays Slytherin, the stakes feel higher than ever. The weather is awful, strong winds, heavy rain, poor visibility. Harry pushes through, flying his heart out, the rain stinging his face, his team counting on him. Somewhere in the stands, he sees that dog-like silhouette again, watching. Then the Dementors arrive. They swarm the pitch, drawn straight to Harry. The world narrows. He hears his mother's screams in his head, the sound of her pleading for his life, Voldemort's voice, the flash of green light. And he falls, from high above the ground, out of control. Dumbledore acts instantly, slowing Harry's fall with a spell, saving him from serious injury. Harry wakes later, shaken but alive. His broom, however, is gone. His *** Nimbus 2000 has been smashed to pieces by the Whomping Willow. Symbolically, this is a big moment. The Nimbus represents Harry's childhood joy, his first big gift from the wizarding world. Losing it is like losing a piece of that innocent excitement. Dementors haven't just made him faint. They've invaded the one place he usually feels most confident, the Quidditch pitch. The message is clear. Fear can show up even in the places where you normally feel strongest. But this low point also sets up Harry's determination to fight back. Section 10. The Marauder's map and the weight of the past. While recovering in the hospital wing, Harry is surrounded by worry and whispers. The image of the Grim, the reality of Dementors, and the loss of his broom all swirl together. Then Fred and George Weasley give him something that will change the course of the book. The * Marauders map ***. It's a magical parchment that shows the entire layout of Hogwarts, corridors, rooms, secret passages, and tiny moving labels for each person in the castle. It's signed by its mysterious creators. Moni, Wormtail, Padfoot, Prongs. We don't yet know who they are, but the names themselves feel playful and personal. The map does two things at once. One, it gives Harry power, knowledge of secret routes and people's movements. Two, it connects him to a previous generation of Hogwarts students. Using the map, Harry discovers * secret passages * out of the castle. He uses one to slip down to Hogsmeade, even without a permission form. In Hogsmeade, he's reunited with Ron and Hermione. They enjoy sweets, joke, and try to pretend everything is normal. Then they go to the pub, the 3 broomsticks ***, and everything changes. Hidden under the invisibility cloak, Harry overhears McGonagall, Fudge, Hagrid, and Flitwick talking. He learns the truth the adults have been hiding. Sirius Black wasn't just a random Death Eater. He was Harry's *** parents, closest friend, and his godfather ***. He was believed to be the *** Potter's secret keeper ***, the only one who knew their hiding place, and he betrayed them to Voldemort. The story goes that after Voldemort's fall, Sirius found Peter Pettigrew on a Muggle street. Pettigrew confronted him. Sirius blew up the street, killed Pettigrew and a bunch of Muggles, and laughed when the Aurors arrived. Harry listens to this in shock. Up until now, Voldemort was the main villain behind his parents' deaths. Now he learns that the man everyone says was his father's best friend is the one who supposedly sold them out. Harry is furious. He isn't just scared of Sirius anymore. He wants revenge. This is a crucial emotional turn. Harry's relationship to the idea of justice, vengeance, and the past becomes much more complex. Back at Hogwarts, Harry carries this new knowledge like a weight. Sirius Black is no longer a distant monster. He's a man Harry hates personally. Christmas arrives. The castle empties out as most students go home. Harry, Ron, and Hermione stay. On Christmas morning, Harry receives a mysterious gift, a broomstick, wrapped but unmistakably shaped. It's the Firebolt, the best broom on the market. Ron and Harry are ecstatic. It's like waking up to find a supercar on your driveway. But Hermione is worried. No one knows who sent it. Sirius Black is out there. The broom could be cursed. It could be a trap. Hermione does the thing she always does. She puts safety first. She tells Professor McGonagall. The broom is confiscated to be inspected. Harry and Ron are outraged. From their perspective, Hermione has ruined a perfect gift and sided with authority against them. From Hermione's perspective, she may have just saved Harry's life. This disagreement drives a wedge between them that lasts for many chapters. It's a subtle reminder that in dangerous times, even close friends can clash over what protection really means. The Firebolt becomes a symbol of risk versus safety, trust versus suspicion, and how people show love in different ways. At the same time, Harry begins his extra lessons with Lupin. Section 12, Learning the Patronus, Fighting Darkness with Light. Harry doesn't want to faint the next time he sees a Dementor. He's tired of feeling weak in front of his classmates. Lupin offers to teach him the Patronus charm, which is advanced, difficult magic, even for adults. The Patronus is a protective force that drives Dementors away. It's created by focusing on a powerful, happy memory and channeling that feeling into magic. Harry tries. Lupin uses a boggart to imitate a Dementor. As soon as it appears, Harry hears his mother's screams in his mind, collapses, and wakes up to Lupin handing him chocolate. They repeat the process. Again, Harry falls. Again, he hears the worst moment of his life replaying. But slowly, something changes. He finds memories strong enough to cling to. Flying, winning Quidditch matches, the feeling of belonging at Hogwarts. He manages to produce a weak, silvery shield. Then better, then stronger. Lupin is impressed. This isn't just fancy spellwork. It's emotional resilience turned into magic. The Patronus becomes the book's clearest metaphor. Dementors are despair, depression, trauma. The Patronus is a learned coping strategy, a way of calling up hope and love even when everything feels dark. Lupin doesn't pretend Dementors aren't terrifying. He doesn't tell Harry to just be brave. Instead, he gives him a tool, and time to practice, making this one of the most meaningful teacher-student relationships in the series. Around this time, the tested Firebolt is finally returned, declared safe, and Harry rejoices. He now has a way to fly better than ever, and a way to fight the creatures that keep dragging him back into his worst memories. But the rest of his life is getting messier. Ron and Hermione are still arguing. Crookshanks keeps going after Scabbers. The tension over Buckbeak's trial builds. And under it all, the presence of Sirius Black presses closer. Section 13. Highs and lows. Victory, intrusions, and Snape's suspicions. The Quidditch match against Ravenclaw is a turning point. Harry takes to the sky on the Firebolt, the crowd roaring. The broom responds like an extension of his own body, fast and precise. Mid-match, he sees Dementor-like shapes approaching. But this time, he's ready. He casts a Patronus in midair, sending the figures scrambling. And it turns out they were just Malfoy and his friends in cloaks, trying to scare him. Harry catches the snitch. Gryffindor wins. For a few shining moments, the mood is purely joyful. That night, though, the darkness returns. Sirius Black breaks into the Gryffindor dormitory again. Ron wakes to see a man with an *** knife, ***, standing over him. The curtains are slashed. The whole dorm erupts in chaos. The idea that Sirius can get past portraits, past security, and into the very heart of the students' sleeping space is terrifying. The teachers double down on security. But Snape is less focused on Dementors and more focused on Lupin. He drops hints in class that Lupin might be dangerous. He suggests to students that their defense teacher has a dark secret. Snape and Lupin have a long, complicated history from their school days. Snape's bitterness and suspicion bleed through everything he does. Meanwhile, Ron and Hermione's friendship hit another low. Ron finds what he believes is *** Scabbers' blood and cat hair ***, and becomes convinced that Crookshanks has eaten his rat. Hermione insists there's no proof. The argument escalates, and for a while, Hermione is essentially on her own, caught between two angry best friends. Under exam pressure, extra classes, Buckbeak's trial, and constant danger, she's stretched to the breaking point. She even lashes out at Malfoy, physically, slapping him across the face when he mocks Hagrid and Buckbeak. Hermione, who usually respects rules and authority, is pushed into open rebellion. That shift tells you how harsh and unfair the situation feels. At the same time, Lupin looks more and more tired. Snape continues to brew the mysterious potion, and the Ministry prepares to pass a final judgment on Buckbeak. Section 14. The Quidditch Cup and Buckbeak's sentence. The final Quidditch match is against Slytherin. It's intense. Slytherin plays dirty, fouling and taunting. The weather is better this time, but the emotional stakes are sky high. Harry stays focused, weaving, dodging, pushing the Firebolt to its limits. In the end, he gets the snitch. Gryffindor wins the Quidditch Cup, ***. For Harry, this is pure, unfiltered triumph. For once, the cheers aren't about his scar, his survival, or his link to Voldemort. They're about his skill, his team, and something as simple as a sports victory. But even as the Gryffindors celebrate, the other storyline creeps towards tragedy. Buckbeak's case has failed. The Committee for the Disposal of Dangerous Creatures has sentenced him to death. Hagrid is heartbroken. Hermione is exhausted from trying to help, researching legal defenses, and dealing with her overloaded schedule. Harry and Ron, finally reconciling with her, feel guilty for not doing more. The book places these two things side by side: the high of winning the Quidditch Cup, the low of an innocent creature being condemned because of politics, prejudice, and a noble family's influence. This contrast shows how the wizarding world isn't fair. Even when you win on the Quidditch pitch, exams approach, tension builds, the execution date is set, and Professor Trelawney is about to do something she didn't know she could do. Section 15. A real prophecy and an apparent execution. As exams begin, everyone is stressed. Harry goes to his asterisk divination exam, expected to read the future in crystal balls and tea leaves. Trelawney hovers, offering her usual dramatic, vague predictions. Then, as Harry is about to leave, she suddenly freezes. Her voice changes. Her whole demeanor shifts. She speaks in a strange, hollow tone and delivers a real prophecy. She predicts that the Dark Lord's servant has been chained for 12 years and will return to him, helping him rise again. Harry is stunned. When it's over, Trelawney seems to have no memory of it and returns to her usual fluttery self. This prophecy will matter more in later books, but for now it sets a chilling backdrop. Even in a quiet exam, the future is shifting. That evening, Harry, Ron, and Hermione put on the invisibility cloak and go down to Hagrid's hut to be with him before Buckbeak's execution. They find Hagrid devastated, but also surprisingly calm, resigned to the Ministry's decision. He tells them that the committee is on its way, accompanied by the executioner. The trio hide just as the officials arrive. From their hiding place, they hear voices, see shadows, and finally hear the sound of an axe being swung. The three of them and the reader believe that Buckbeak has been killed. The moment is heartbreaking. It feels like a confirmation that in this world, sometimes innocence doesn't matter. But this night isn't done with them yet. Section 16, Cat, Rat, and Dog. The Shrieking Shack. Leaving Hagrid's hut, cloaked and shaken, Harry, Ron, and Hermione head back towards the castle. On the way, Scabbers Asterisk suddenly reappears. He's thin, terrified, and desperate to escape Ron's grip. As Ron struggles to hold onto him, Crookshanks appears, chasing after Scabbers. In the chaos, a huge black dog lunges out of the darkness. It grabs Ron by the arm, drags him towards the Whomping Willow, and disappears with him into a tunnel beneath the tree. Harry and Hermione follow. They fight their way past the tree's thrashing branches and slip into the underground passage that leads to the so-called Shrieking Shack, a building in the nearby village rumored to be haunted. Inside, they find Ron injured, with his leg broken, and they find Sirius, black ***. He looks nothing like the man in the wanted posters. He's thinner, gaunter, more hollowed out by Azkaban than any photo could show. But his eyes are bright, intense, fixed on Harry. Harry explodes. He launches himself at Sirius, furious, ready to kill the man he believes betrayed his parents. Sirius doesn't fight back much. He seems almost resigned. Then the door opens again. Remus Lupin Asterisk enters the room. He takes in the scene in a heartbeat. Harry, Ron, Hermione, Black, and Scabbers. He sees the rat. He goes pale. He embraces Sirius like an asterisk old friend asterisk. For Harry, this is a complete shock. The man he trusts most this year just greeted the man he hates most. The ground under the story shifts. Something much more complicated is going on. Section 17. Moony, Wormtail, Padfoot, and Prongs. The truth comes out. In the Shrieking Shack, through arguments, interruptions, and Snape's dramatic arrival, a tangled history unfolds. We learn that James Potter, Sirius Black, Remus Lupin, and Peter Pettigrew were best friends at Hogwarts. Remus is a asterisk werewolf asterisk. To support him, his friends became asterisk unregistered animagi asterisk. Wizards who can transform into animals. Their nicknames on the Marauder's map match their animal forms and roles. Moony asterisk Lupin, tied to the moon. Wormtail asterisk Pettigrew, who can become a rat. Padfoot Sirius, who can become a large black dog. Prongs asterisk James, whose animagus form is a stag. The Shrieking Shack itself wasn't really haunted. It was used as a safe place for Lupin's monthly transformations. The supposed howling and shrieking that gave it its name was him. All of this already reshapes the picture. But the core revelation is this. Sirius Black is asterisk not the man who betrayed the Potters. Peter Pettigrew is. Sirius was not the secret keeper. At the last moment, the Potters switched their secret keeper to Pettigrew, thinking no one would suspect him. Pettigrew sold them out to Voldemort, then faked his own death, cut off his finger, killed a street full of muggles, and blamed it all on Sirius. Sirius went to Azkaban without a trial, holding onto the knowledge that he was innocent, but too broken and guilty about James and Lily's deaths to fight the Ministry. And where has Pettigrew been all this time? Right there, as asterisk Scabbers, asterisk, Ron's rat. Sirius and Lupin force Pettigrew to transform back into human form. He emerges as a terrified, pathetic man, trembling and begging. The truth is ugly, but it is finally out. The man Harry has been taught to fear and hate is actually his godfather, who loved his parents. The harmless pet rat was the real traitor hiding in plain sight. It's a powerful reminder that appearances, especially in this book, are not to be trusted. Section 18, Justice, Mercy, and the Escape of the Rat. Once Pettigrew's betrayal is revealed, Sirius and Lupin want one thing: revenge, asterisk. They have lost 12 years to grief, guilt, and Azkaban. James and Lily are dead. Harry grew up with the Dursleys, not with his godfather. Killing Pettigrew feels, to them, like justice. Harry stops them. He tells them his father wouldn't have wanted his friends to become murderers. He insists that Pettigrew must be kept alive and turned over to the Ministry. Only then can Sirius's name be cleared. This is a huge moral moment for Harry. He has every reason to hate Pettigrew. He has every excuse to let Sirius and Lupin kill him. But he chooses ** mercy over murder ** justice over revenge. They bind Pettigrew, prepare to take him back to the castle, and step out into the night. The full moon rises. Lupin, who forgot to take his potion in all the chaos, begins to transform into a werewolf. Sirius turns into a dog to stop him from hurting anyone. In the chaos that follows, Pettigrew escapes. The plan to clear Sirius's name falls apart. Harry and Hermione find themselves in a frantic race through the forest, trying to help Sirius fight off Lupin and keep themselves alive. They make it as far as the lake, and the Dementors arrive. Section 19. The Dementors attack and the mysterious Patronus. At the lake, Harry, Hermione, and a weakened Sirius are surrounded by Dementors. Harry tries to cast the Patronus charm. He manages only a flicker. There are too many Dementors. They close in, feeding off all three of them. Harry hears his mother's screams again, her final moments as she begs Voldemort for mercy. He hears his father trying to hold Voldemort off. The voices swirl around him. He sees across the lake a figure. He sees a bright, silver ** stag Patronus ** burst forth, powerful and magnificent, charging the Dementors and driving them away. Harry is sure, as he begins to lose consciousness, that the figure casting the Patronus is his * father **. He wakes up in the hospital wing. Sirius has been captured. Pettigrew has vanished. Snape has claimed all the credit for saving the children and catching Black. Fudge is satisfied that the dangerous criminal has been recaptured, and the Dementors are scheduled to perform the ** Dementors kiss * on Sirius. A soul-destroying act that leaves a person alive, but empty. It seems utterly hopeless. Then Dumbledore visits Harry and Hermione. He believes them. He believes Sirius is innocent, but he cannot convince the Ministry or openly defy Fudge. Instead, he offers them something else, a chance to change what happened. Section 20. Hermione's Secret and the Time Turner. Dumbledore hints to Hermione that it's time to tell Harry the truth. Throughout the year, Hermione's impossible schedule has been a running joke and a mystery. She appears in multiple classes at the same time, disappears and reappears in strange ways, and seems constantly exhausted. Now we find out why. She has been using a * time turner *, a device that allows her to go back in time by a few hours to attend extra classes. Dumbledore instructs them, turn the time turner back 3 hours. Use that time to rescue Buckbeak. Then use Buckbeak to rescue Sirius. They must not be seen. They cannot allow anyone to know they interfered. Hermione and Harry do as instructed. The world spins. The evening rewinds. And suddenly, they are back at the point where they first arrived at Hagrid's hut earlier that night. From there, the story folds in on itself. They sneak to the pumpkin patch and untie Buckbeak before the executioner arrives. Hide in the forest, watching their past selves go through everything again. Stay out of sight as Fudge, Dumbledore, and the executioner come and go. The execution, they heard, was not Buckbeak's death. It was just the swing of the executioner's axe into a fence in anger when he realizes the creature is gone. the entire tragedy of Buckbeak's death is quietly undone, without anyone except Harry, Hermione, Dumbledore, and Hagrid knowing. But they're still Sirius. Section 21. The Stag on the Lake and the Escape on Buckbeak. Harry feels pulled toward the lake. He wants to see the moment when the Dementors attacked, to see the mysterious figure who saved him and Sirius. He and Hermione watch from a distance as their earlier selves, along with Sirius, are surrounded by Dementors. Harry waits. He waits for his father to appear. No one comes. The Dementors keep closing in, and Harry realizes the truth. The person he thought was his father was himself. No one else is coming to save them. If that Patronus is going to appear, he has to cast it. He steps out, raises his wand, focuses every memory of love, warmth, and hope he has, and shouts, "Expecto Patronum." The Stag Patronus bursts forth, brilliant and strong, driving the Dementors away. In that moment, Harry doesn't just master a difficult spell. He becomes the protector he always wished he had. He becomes, in a way, the echo of his father that saved him. After the Dementors are gone, and his past self is safe, Harry and Hermione fly Buckbeak up to the tower where Sirius is being held. They unlock the window, bring Buckbeak close, and get Sirius onto his back. In a moment of quiet, grateful understanding, Sirius and Harry look at each other. Sirius promises that if he ever gets the chance, Harry can live with him. Harry has, for the first time, a real connection to a family member who loves him. Then Sirius and Buckbeak fly away into the night. To the rest of the world, it looks like Sirius somehow escaped, and Buckbeak was executed. To Harry and Hermione and Dumbledore, the truth is much brighter. A condemned creature was saved. An innocent man escaped a fate worse than death. The timeline snaps back into place. Section 22. Endings, losses, and a glimmer of hope. Back in the hospital wing, very little seems changed on the surface. The Ministry still believes Sirius is guilty. Snape is furious that his catch slipped away. Fudge is embarrassed, but unwilling to admit he was wrong. But the deeper truth is that Harry knows better. Lupin, however, cannot stay. Snape has let slip that Lupin is a werewolf. Fear and prejudice spread quickly. Lupin resigns as defense against the dark arts teacher, not wanting to cause trouble for Dumbledore or the school. His departure hurts. For Harry, Lupin has been a connection to his parents, a mentor who taught him the Patronus, and one of the first adults to treat him with real understanding. Losing him feels like another door closing. As Harry prepares to leave Hogwarts at the end of term, he receives a letter. It's from Sirius Asterisk. In it, Sirius confirms that he was the one who sent the Firebolt, officially gives it to Harry as his godfather, explains that Harry now has someone, somewhere, who cares about him as family, signs Harry's Hogsmeade permission form so he can visit legally next year. Harry can't go live with Sirius yet. The world still sees Sirius as a criminal, but the idea is there, like a small light in the distance. I have a godfather. I am not alone. On the train home, Harry is still going back to the Dursleys. His everyday life will still include chores, insults, and a locked cupboard of magic. But something fundamental has changed. He knows more about his parents' friends. He knows the truth about the man who was blamed for their deaths. He knows the ministry can be deeply wrong. And most importantly, he knows that when everything collapses, he can call up a powerful, glowing stag of hope out of his own memories and send the darkness running. Section 23. Themes. What Prisoner of Azkaban is really about. Now that we've walked through the entire story, we can gently pull together its biggest ideas. Fear and how you face it. Fear runs through every layer of this book. The Dementors are fear made flesh. Creatures that amplify your worst memories. Trelawney's Grim represents fear of death and superstition. The Boggart reveals individual fears, from Snape to spiders. But the book doesn't say, "Don't be afraid." Instead, it asks, what do you do with fear? Do you let it paralyze you? Do you twist it into hatred and prejudice? Or do you learn tools, magic, humor, friendship to handle it? The Patroness is the clearest answer. It isn't just a light. It's a light built out of your own most precious memories. Time, memory, and second chances. Time is everywhere in Prisoner of Azkaban. The time turner literally rewinds the clock. The Marauder's map overlays the present with the footprints of people moving through the castle. The whole mystery hinges on understanding what really happened 12 years ago. The book shows that you can't always rewrite the entire past. Voldemort still attacked the Potters. James and Lily are still dead. Pettigrew still escapes in the end. But you can sometimes. Save lives that seemed lost. Correct misunderstandings. See the same event from another angle and understand it differently. Harry's realization by the lake that he himself is the one who must cast the Patroness is the emotional heart of the time travel storyline. He becomes, in a way, the hero he hoped would become.